Hello everybody, and welcome back to Certified Collectibles. This is another episode of First Appearances of the Week. This is Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022. We'll be giving you all the first appearances in your comic shops today. Now this week we have a pretty light week for you guys. I think we only have one first appearance, but we do have 8 honorable mentions, so 9 titles in all to go through. Definitely some good titles in there to add to your collection, so let's go ahead and get started for the first appearances of the week ending February 4th, 2022. From Marvel Comics, Amazing Spider-Man number 88. This features the first appearance of Queen Goblin, Ashley Kafka. Now, this is the first appearance of a female Goblin, and you know, all the Goblin characters, all the Goblin villains that Marvel has introduced into the Amazing Spider-Man universe have definitely been very sought after, very collectible, and we don't think this is any exception. This is one we definitely think you should pick up and add to your collection. And now for the honorable mentions. From Image Comics, Geiger 80-Page Giant number 1. This is an anthology of stories including a new character introduction and established character origins. Now this is one we definitely think you should pick up. Geiger, in our opinion, has some promise to be either picked up for a small screen or big screen project, and Image Comics has had a lot of their titles optioned for big screen and small screen projects, so we think this is one to definitely pick up and spec on. This is the introduction of a new character, and it gives the origins of already established characters, so this is one we think you should grab for your collection. Next up from Behemoth Comics, Heavy Metal Drummer number 1. In 1986, a heavy metal drummer and drug addict get tangled up with an interdimensional conflict between order and chaos that begins underground in Los Angeles. Now this sounds like it can lend itself very well to a small screen or big screen project or a streaming series. You know, Behemoth hasn't really had a lot of their titles picked up for projects like this, but this one here sounds like it can definitely be part of the nostalgia craze that's going on right now. This is set in 1986. You have a heavy metal drummer here. It's based in underground Los Angeles. This one here sounds like it can definitely be picked up and optioned. This is one, if you pick it up, it's definitely going to be a speculative bet, but it might be well worth it for the cover price. Do some research on this one here. Pick it up if you can. If you can't, put it on your B list, but definitely keep an eye on it. Next up from Image Comics, New Masters number 1. This is a 6-issue limited series where a group of outcasts in an alien-occupied West Africa get entangled in a power struggle for control of an ancient artifact with immense power. Now this sounds like it could lend itself very well to TV or film. Image Comics has had a lot of their titles picked up and optioned for TV or film in the past, and we think this is definitely one that can easily translate over. This is one, if you pick it up, it's definitely going to be a speculative bet, but once again, this may be well worth it. Give this one here some consideration. If you can, pick it up. If you can't, put it on your B list. Next up from AWA Upshot, Primos number 1. Centuries ago, 2 Mayan brothers set off on an intergalactic space venture, only to return to Earth and find their civilization has been destroyed. Now this, once again, sounds like it can lend itself very well to a small screen, big screen, or streaming project. AWA Upshot has been getting a lot of attention lately, and some of their titles have been optioned. This is one that's definitely worth specking on, in our opinion. Like I said, it sounds like it can lend itself very well to a nice streaming series. So if you choose to pick this one up, know it's going to be a speculative bet, but once again, might be well worth it. Give this one here some consideration. If you can't get it, put it on your B list. Keep an eye on it. Take a look at it later on. Next up from Behemoth Comics, Until My Knuckles Bleed number 1. This is a series about an over-the-top 90s era superhero in the modern era. Damager now works as a bouncer in a mob-owned strip club. He hooks up with his ex-girlfriend and struggles with the side effects of his cyber implants until fate intervenes with one last cheap shot. Now this sounds like it lends itself very well to a small screen or big screen project or streaming series. Like we mentioned a moment ago, Behemoth hasn't really had a lot of their titles picked up in the past, but if they start producing a lot of material like this, they might be getting more attention, and these books will be under collected. There'll be fewer of them out there, so this one may be worth picking up and specking on. If this does get picked up, you might be sitting on a winner. If it doesn't and goes nowhere, you're out a few bucks. This may be worth picking up and add to your collection. Next up from Marvel Comics, Fantastic Four Reckoning War Alpha number 1. This is the reintroduction of characters teased to exist in comics from decades ago, but redesigned with new identities: Rapture, Reject, Ruin, and Wrath. Now this is one we definitely think is worth picking up. You know, Fantastic Four is going to be a big deal in the MCU. They are going to start producing feature films for Fantastic Four, and if they're reintroducing characters from the past and giving them new identities and they've been redesigned, this is one we definitely think you should pick up and add to your collection. Next up from Marvel Comics, The Marvels number 8. This features the origin of Warbird. Now, Warbird isn't one of Marvel's most popular characters or most highly collected characters, and this is not the first appearance. This is the origin story. So this one here may be one that you want to put on your B list. If you pick it up, it'll be a speculative bet, but in our opinion, you have some time on this one. Put it on your B list, keep an eye on it, take a look at it later. And finally, for Marvel Comics, Savage Spider-Man number 1. This is a 5-issue limited series that transforms Spider-Man into a savage beast. Now, you never really know what Marvel's going to do with the MCU and what they're going to do with the Spider-Man franchise. If they bring this transformation of Spider-Man into the Savage Beast onto the big screen, this could be a big deal. We think this is one you probably want to pick up for your collection. If you can't, though, keep an eye on it. Take a look at it later on. So there you have the 9 titles that we have for you guys this week. 8 honorable mentions and only 1 first appearance. Please feel free to drop some comments in the comment section below. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video. And as always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Certified Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.